Guys, we have quite the eventful data mine this time around. There is a handful of new Gokus and they're all free characters, and we're going to be taking a look at all of them and going over each of them, and you know, kind of also carrying in off of what I was talking about over the last couple of days on the channel here. I did put out a prediction video. If you didn't watch it, please be sure to. I go over some things that, you know, maybe you didn't think about in particular, but the main gist of my prediction video was I was thinking that Universe Survival Saga is not going to be one of the main features of the anniversary, and I'm thinking more or less it's going to be future, and it's going to be GT as well. One thing I said in that video a few days ago was, hey, if we get like some sort of like Zenkai future character, I think that would be very, very damning. And sure enough, we are actually getting a Zenkai future character as well, literally this week. So to me, it screams like that is going to happen. But and another interesting thing that's happening here is they added this legendary Goku event, if you would call it that. Not really, but something similar, I guess. Anyways, so there are all of these Gokus. There are all of these battles. There's a lot going on here. You're going to be able to get the Z power for them here. And also in this process, you're going to be Zenkai Awakening the blue Goku as well. That blue old Goku from the shop is finally Zenkai Awakening. So there's just a whole lot of Goku stuff going on here. It's actually a couple of weeks late because Goku Day was about a week and a half ago, whatever. It was the 9th. Anyways. So that being said, it is what it is, man. Now, these characters also have some data mined images in the game that are for the countdown for the anniversary. So for one, the anniversary is literally on the 31st. Just keep that in mind. You're going to be seeing Goku progress through the forms. It says, I think it's like starts like 7 days left or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, so say it's like 6 days left, and Super Saiyan 1 is 5 days left, 4 days left, blah, blah, blah. And that's something that Dokkan typically does a lot, with the final day being the character that is being released, right? So obviously in this lineage, the character that would be released in this order would be a variant of Ultra Instinct Goku. And a lot of people are kind of running with that and thinking maybe Ultra Instinct Goku is coming for the anniversary. I'm just going to say right now, I'm going to hold true to what I said and what I think. I don't think Ultra Instinct Goku is coming out during the anniversary, but what will be really cool is if they find a way, because I do think Future is going to be heavily prominent. I'm just telling you now, I think that's set in stone. For one, I think the most obvious thing is Gogeta's coming out. I think that's happening and that's not changing. I think Future's coming out as well with some hard hitters like Corrupted Zamasu. And then on top of that, though, last but not least, it'd be cool if they found a way to mix in Universe Survival Saga. And if you think about it, last year they had multiple banners that came out during the anniversary, like part 1, part 2. I believe there was even a part 3 banner. Like, weren't like Kaioken and Pikkon part of that anniversary period as well? Like, there's a lot really that went into that. So we have all these characters. We have the freaking Zenkais as well. This is a massive amount of characters. I just now realized that. I need to pull up the other 2 characters. I didn't even think about pulling them up. So this dude's getting a Zenkai. I need to see how his banner looks and what's happening with that. I assume he's a free character, right? They're typically free when they're EX characters, for now anyway. We're going to pull up that old blue Goku, and his Zenkai is now live in the game as well. We're going to start with this dude. So this is a character a lot of people wanted to see get a Zenkai for forever. I'm extremely happy about this. You're going to be getting his Zenkai stuff if it wasn't clear from that Goku event. That does also allow you to farm all of these Gokus. They're all available. They're all free, basically. So there's that. So correct me if I'm mistaken on anything, by the way, throughout the video. So the main ability, post Zenkai. Okay, plus 30% damage inflicted for 20 counts. Inflicts enemy with the attribute downgrade. Plus 40% to blast damage received for 25 counts. 15 counts, whatever. So applies the following effects itself when there are 3 battle members remaining. Plus 30% to damage, okay? And plus 20% to damage reduction, okay. So far, nothing really special. But this one, most important thing to mention is with this type of unique, if he loses any battle member, this unique gets turned off. So reduces damage received by 20% until the combo ends when changing cover. So he's got 220% here. He is a defense type, right? Yeah, he is a defense type. Okay. Applies the following effects itself from the battle start for the first 45 counts. He gets another 30% of damage and nullifies attribute downgrades and abnormal conditions. So decent. 20% cover cut, but no restriction. Like sub count up is nice, I guess. But again, when there's 3 battle members early game, he's going to be getting 40% total so far. And he gets 2 30% damage stacks as well. The defensive stats are actually pretty decent, 180,000. That's about the average for Zenkai 7 characters now at this point. His offensive stats are below average, I'd say, for some of the Zenkai 7 characters. But he's a defense type, right? Anyways, applies the following effects to allies when he's defeated. Okay, restores health by 10%, and plus 20% of damage inflicted. Kind of interesting, but also highly irrelevant. Like this isn't big enough to move the needle, really. Like this is not big enough to move the needle. He's a free character, so I need to be a little bit more kind to him, though. Applies the following effects to self when this character enters the battlefield. Restores ki. Yay, he gets a draw speed buff. Nice, I'll take it. Plus 10% of damage inflicted can't be stacked. What's the point of that? And increases card draw speed. This is the best thing in his kit. Restores ki, gets this here, but the 10% can't be stacked. It's just hilarious. It doesn't make any sense. So really, he gets what? 30 twice to damage, the 10% there when he enters the battlefield, 30% here for 20 counts. He does a debuff to the enemy, which will help him with damage, obviously. Let's see how his Spirit Bomb looks here. Applies the following effects to the enemy on hits, plus 20% to damage received, 30% fate chance. Restores own ki by 45, plus 20% to damage inflicted. The downside is, looking at him, he seems to be like the worst Zenkai character in the game. Off the top of my head, there might be one that's worse than him. And yes, I'm including the other free ones, right? He just seems like he might be the worst one in the game. But still nice to see him get buffed. And there are going to be people that are going to be using him and running him in some capacity. The Zenkai ability is halved versus the summonable characters, pretty much. And it is for blue Frieza Saga characters. So that's not terrible, I guess. Actually, that's not terrible, because there's another blue Frieza Saga character that can benefit from that. That's also a Goku, I guess. So yeah, he's kind of whatever. I feel like they could have done more with him. Definitely could have done more with him. Leaned more into allowing him to be a better tank. He doesn't really have his own sustainability. In fact, interestingly enough, when he's defeated, he offers more sustainability to allies with HP, damage up. Again, this type of effect is a dime a dozen in the game, so it's not anything really all that special. And really, the question becomes, like, are you running him over any other blue character that's on basically Saiyans or anything like that? And pretty much the answer is no. Obviously, it comes down to what you have, but it is what it is. He's a free character, so again, I'm not going to be that mad about it. So before we move on to these guys, let's take a look at the EX Gohan here. And I do want to take a look at the summon for this dude, if there is one. Yeah, I'm not seeing one. There may be one, but I'm not seeing it, and I don't feel like digging through this because I completely forgot about him, so I didn't pull it up. I would have otherwise pulled it up, did not think about it, and as a result, it's not here for me. Yeah, I don't see it, so there apparently is not a summon. Makes sense. I'm always apprehensive about the free Zenkai thing, because I'm pretty sure eventually they're going to make EXs that are not free. I think that's just, unless they keep going through the same story arcs and just dropping more characters that would fit, right? Anyways, so now with the Zenkai, restores, it changes from his own HP to ally HP. That's pretty great, actually. Plus 25% of damage inflicted for 25 counts. And by the way, guys, if you haven't yet, hit a thumbs up, please, and show your support for the channel. It helps tremendously, more than you know. And we're going to have a lot of hype stuff coming up soon, going towards the anniversary and stuff like that. So show your support. I appreciate it. Plus 20% of damage inflicted for 20 counts here. Reduces damage received by 15% for 10 counts there when he enters the battlefield. So a little bit of damage up, a little bit of tanking for 10 counts, 20 counts. Very short for the tanking here, but it is what it is. Plus 40% of blast damage inflicted when Trunks is a battle member. So another 40% damage, not bad. This is another defense type character, and it looks like to me they've already built him better. Like, I mean, the ally health thing is like crazy good, because it not only does it heal himself, it heals allies, and he doesn't even need to be defeated, right? And it looks like he already has more tanking potential than the other dude, because he automatically has the 40% when changing cover, the standard 40%, but he does pick up the 2 sub count, right, when activated. That's pretty standard sustained cut effect. Like, this is like extremely standard. Applies the following effect self after the enemy's attack is over. Draw speed +1 and plus 40% key recovery. This is one of those effects that activates anytime he's hit with anything. So if they're tap punching or tap shotting a lot, you're going to get a lot of draw speed buffs. That's why it's only 10 counts. And then also on top of that, the key recovery buff is going to stack quite nicely, actually, if they're doing stuff like that. Applies the following effects itself when he enters the battlefield, plus 30 key and also 45% damage inflicted. Again, he doesn't get the one thing that the blue Goku really got that was really good that they did not have to give him, as I don't have it open anymore, as a defense character, was the draw speed on entry. That's pretty great, actually. That's great for any character. It really is. And the key and draw speed on entry is ridiculous. So this dude doesn't necessarily get that in the same way, but I think so far he's a little bit more in line with what I would have wanted. plus 15% of damage inflicted upon activation here. Restores own health by 10% and ki by 35. See, like, they didn't even change some of this stuff. Like, they really just didn't. Oh, this one went from being just strike damage to being just all damage, which is better, right? Green extreme characters, kind of irrelevant there. Okay, yeah, okay. Not terrible. I mean, the question is, like, is there even any point in farming this dude because you're gonna get these characters, right? Like, I don't see any point when you're gonna get all these free Gokus. So let's start off with a base form Goku here, guys. Inflicts all enemies with the attribute downgrade plus 30% to strike damage received for 30 counts, plus 40% to damage inflicted for 30 counts, and restores own health by 20% and his ki as well. So a downgrade for strike. He's a melee character, I imagine. Yep. All right. Damage buff as well. So I mean, all this together means he's just gonna hit you really hard. Applies the following effects itself when this character enters the battlefield, plus 60% to damage, reduces damage received by 30% for 20 counts. We've seen this exact same unique on all these characters so far, just differing variations of it. Assault Arts Card draw speed applies the following effects itself from the battle start for the first 80 counts. For the first 80 counts, he gets a draw speed and ki recovery buff. Oh, okay, I like that, huh? So for the first portion of the match, this dude is gonna punch your face in, literally. Okay, he's gonna do a lot of damage and do a pretty nice combo. I like it. His kit is so short, so sweet, just like straight to the point, man. Plus 20% of damage inflicted on activation, cancels downgrades, just a strike damage buff, pretty standard, old school actually, old school standard there. Like, there's really nothing special about this dude whatsoever. Oh, he buffed Saiyan Saga. Are they all gonna be arc buffers? That's cool. Another Saiyan Saga buffer's fun. There's a few of them. That's fun. But yeah, he's pretty short and sweet, straight to the point, old school style unit. I'll take it. He's like literally he would maybe have been meta like a year and a half ago. It's just spitballing a random number, but not bad. You could use him. But again, just like the Blue Goku, we're using this dude on Saiyans. I mean, I imagine everybody just got this dude who's better by a lot. So like, we're using him, right? But to have him, free stuff is free stuff. I'm cool with that. So this dude's yellow. Again, the Vegeta that came out is like the staple yellow for pretty much any Saiyan team. He's incredible. So let's see what this dude has. There's also another, I think Ss3 is yellow. Yeah. Okay. This dude's a ranged fighter here. Frieza Saga character, draws a special move arts card next on the main ability. Okay. Plus 50% of damage and cancels his downgrades. Okay. Would have loved for him to get some ki here. Maybe he gets it on entry. That would be good as well. Even if it wasn't the full 50, right? But just some. Applies when he, okay, here's some ki. Okay, perfect. Applies the following effects when he enters the battlefield. Restores ki by 30, plus 70% of damage. Again, we're seeing this exact unique on all the characters I've read. They're all like on entry getting a damage buff and reducing damage. It's like so basic. But again, it's not bad. Not in a bad way. Those are good mechanics to get, but it's just like, wow, 1-1-1-1, all of them. 20% for 15 counts. Apply the following effects itself per defeated battle member when he enters the battlefield. Oh, he's a last man standing type of character. Plus 20% of damage inflicted cannot be canceled. Reduces damage received by 10%, can't be canceled, and restores health by 10%. So this restores health by 10%. They keep putting this on these red Gokus. Well, this is not red, but these Super Saiyan Namek Gokus, I guess. So the way that mechanic works is if any ally is defeated, and you basically continue the match with like 2 characters from there, you switch a lot, he's going to heal on entry every single time he enters the battlefield. The other buff is not going to change, but he'll be able to heal every single time, right? Yeah, anytime he enters the battlefield, it's not going to change. He's going to keep healing, and he'll eventually get back up, assuming they obviously don't take any damage, back to max. He'll just heal repeatedly. Effects reset after switch. That one you can't reset the health, right? You could take away the damage in the tanking, but you can't reset his health. So he's gonna keep on healing. Plus 50% of special move damage inflicted for 3 counts upon activation. Okay, that's pretty decent. Restores ki by 30 with the green card and plus 20% of damage inflicted. Nice. Not really worrying about the turn and power stuff. It's kind of whatever. He is a Frieza Saga buffer. Frieza Saga in yellow. Okay, I'll take it. I'm cool with getting more like Saga buffers. The early DBZ sagas have the most support, but I'm cool with that. All right, so Majin Buu Saga, I don't believe has any buffers but this dude. Oh, okay, 2 of them. Okay, I'm cool with that. All right, so Defense type Goku this time around. Restores allies' health by 20%, inflicts all enemies with the downgrade -1 draw speed, and cancels enemies' buffs. I'll take that. Pretty short and sweet there, but I'll take it. Pretty good. But again, all these characters are free, so like in my head, I'm like, I want to see more. I need to see more, all right? But they're all like free characters, so obviously they're going to be tuned down, right? Applies the following effects itself every time when faced with an enemy. So this means that if you enter the battlefield, you get this buff, or if they switch repeatedly versus you, you're going to get these buffs. Plus 30% of damage inflicted for 15 counts, and reduces damage received by 25% for 10 counts. This is from your perspective, this is a very, very cute way of saying when he enters the battlefield, get the same buff everybody else has been getting, but just varying percentages. Applies an additional 30% of strike damage inflicted for 15 counts when he's faced with a Saiyan. Okay, bonus damage versus Saiyan characters. Okay, reduces damage by 40% until combo ends on changing cover, and plus 25% of damage inflicted for 2 counts, and for 25 counts, excuse me, and plus 2 to own sub count whenever he uses that. Okay, so there's a bonus, another bonus. Very rare do you see 2 bonuses in terms of getting the cut, and then also another bonus on these cover changes. Very, very rare. Plus 20% on activation. Restores own health here and cancels allies' downgrades. Like a cleansing effect on allies. That's cool. Strike defense. So I haven't been pointing it out, but he's double defense. It's a good Z ability. It would have just been better if it was like Saiyans, you know, but obviously they're kind of keeping that in mind. Blast attack and defense here. I imagine this was strike attack and defense. So some of these are going to function better with the monocoloring teams than others, right? So here's Ss3 Goku, melee character. I assume he's going to be like double attack. Restores own ki by 50, increases draw speed by 1 level. Oh, that main's gonna be nuts. And plus damage. You need 5 counts to use it. Yeah, that main's gonna be nuts. Applies the following effects to self for the first 60 counts. Plus 60% to damage, plus 50% more to strike damage. Reduces damage, and then also plus 70% to ki recovery. Plus 30% to damage inflicted against regen, and then reduces damage received by 15% from regen. Okay, anti-regen looking pretty good there. Shades of LF Gohan with the reduction as well. Again, very short and sweet, but I think for the first 60 counts, and that's completely in theme with Ss3, by the way, fizzling out. He's gonna actually be pretty decent. I'm trying to blitz through this, so I'm not really covering stats all that often. But the strike attack here is not bad at all. 245 is not bad at all. So like he's gonna do a lot of damage at 14 star anyway. Applies the following effects. I already read that one, excuse me. So the special move inflicts enemy with attribute downgrade plus 20% upon on hit, actually. And plus 30% to strike damage inflicted for 15 counts with a green, and -10 to own strike arts cost as well, can't be stacked. If you enter with a green card and get a combo going, he's gonna just rip you to shreds, actually. You enter with a green and pop the main. You have that's 2 things you have to do, but his combo could be pretty nice. Okay, strike attack, and yeah, double attack for yellow. Pretty good, actually. Again, there's not very many like Majin Buu Saga characters, so that's fine. Was Goku double defense? And that's actually a pretty good combo if you really wanted to run like a Majin Buu Saga team like I did once upon a time. You can have these 2 dudes on like your bench, and it would actually fit a lot better. You can also run like a Saiyan team built around Majin Buu Saga with like Majin Vegeta, the Zenkai Goku, the other Vegeta. Like you can run these and basically use these guys like as a Saiyan bench buffers. Works pretty good. Okay, God of Destruction Beerus Saga. There's nobody else buffing this. There's very few characters even from that part of the story. So our next God Goku's here. All right, draws a strike card next. Restores own health and ki. Okay, inflicts all enemies with the downgrade plus 5 to the sub count. That's pretty good, actually. Means that they're not going to be able to sub versus you for 5 counts, pretty much. Applies the following effects itself when he enters the battlefield. Plus damage, reduced damage. Additional 30% damage inflicted when a Saiyan other than this character is on your team, and it resets after switch. Okay, so you want to run him on a Saiyan type team. Applies the following effects itself every time this character uses a strike or blast arts card. Plus 20% of damage inflicted for 10 counts as well. Restores ki, and also -3 to his arts card cost. Okay, so his combos will get progressively better with the ki up and card cost down and the damage output. So that'll be cool. Only thing I'm seeing with these Gokus is I really wish that I mean, they kind of advertise them as like getting all these Gokus and stuff like that. I kind of wish there was a way to actually run them all on one team. If you run them all on one team, they're basically like not even gonna get any Z abilities, like pretty much one or two. There's not any Z abilities really across the board, which sucks actually. I really wanted to run a full Goku team with these characters. I can still do it. It's just they're gonna be hitting like wet noodles. Plus 50% chance to cancel enemies' attribute upgrades. So this is just ripped straight from the red Ss3 Goku. It's the same attack as well with the Dragon Smash. Plus 30% to Ki recovery and plus 20% to damage. Okay. And strike attack and strike defense for green and God of Destruction Frieza Saga. Okay. Last but not least, I assume you're ranged, right? Yep, ranged. Okay. Haven't really seen ranged. I imagine this was coming. Purple Super Saiyan Blue Goku. That's fun. Don't really see very many of those, but again, I think they chose like horrible colors for these characters. I'm just gonna say it. I think they chose horrible colors for all of them. Green is not a color that this team needs. Purple's not. I'm gonna hold off until Anniversary though, because I think Corrupted Zamasu's coming out, and I think he could potentially be red. So, anyways, restores own health by 20%, plus 40% to damage inflicted for 40 counts. Cancels his own downgrades as well. Okay. Applies the following effects itself when he enters the battlefield, plus 50% to damage and plus 40% to blast damage and plus 30% to his defensive ability for 15 counts on all of those effects. Applies the following effects to allies when he switches out. Yes, finally, some sort of supporting effect. Plus 20% to damage, plus 20% to Ki recovery, and plus 10% to crit rate. Okay, do not get this confused with like Super Saiyan Bardock. One of the biggest pet peeves I have is when people say, oh, Super Saiyan 2 Charlotte, he's just like Super Saiyan Bardock. He's not. Why? Because there's two stats. There's crit rate, which is how often you're going to crit, and there's crit damage, which is how much bonus damage you do when you do critical hits. That's always going to be an impact. Like critical hits in like basically any game do more damage than basic hits, right? Crit rate just means that you're going to crit more likely. Obviously, that means more damage, but it's not anything at all, even close, remotely close to Super Saiyan Bardock, because not only does he offer crit rate, he offers crit damage. Crit damage is insane. So that's not here, but still, nonetheless, it's quite interesting and quite unique to see a character like him that's going to support allies for Ki recovery, damage, and crit rate. Quite interesting and quite unique. I actually need to pull up his arc here. Frieza Saga, resurrected. I don't think there's very many for this. Yeah, there's nothing. These are like arcs that are just dead. Like they don't drop any characters from those parts of the story right now. So that's still good though. Don't get me wrong. I'm just like, if you're thinking this was like that, just don't even. And also like 10%, such a minor amount, but still nonetheless, like don't think it's like that. It's not. It's really not. Plus 20% to blast damage inflicted for 20 counts upon activation. Restores own Ki. Plus 25% or 20% to damage inflicted by allies. So he's like the first character that kind of doubles also as being like a support character that I've read. Blast attack and defense as well. I actually like it a lot. I also like. I need to pull up Charlotte because I have a feeling I could potentially be wrong. I don't think I am, but I could potentially be wrong that he might offer that. Let's see if it's in here. This is like. Renzi really needs to fix Charlotte just because it's all kind of jumbled in here. I don't really know which unique is for SS2. Here it is. Crit rate. Yeah, crit rate and just damage. Yeah, pretty basic. Anyways. Yeah, there's a bunch of characters here. It's going to be cool to own them. None of them are particularly crazy. Obviously, like none of them. But it is nice to see, for one, that they're kind of cool in it with the releases. Like, there's basically no releases this week in terms of summonable characters. And they've given us a nice little break here for the last couple of weeks now without dropping really summonable characters before the anniversary, which again is in a couple of weeks. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think this does mean UI Goku is coming? Let me know what you think about the anniversary and what could potentially be happening there. Oh man, how nasty acid reflux, excuse me. Are you guys excited for the Goku event? I'm pretty hyped for it. Don't get it mistaken. I'm actually really hyped for this, and I'm excited about farming the characters. I had my expectations just a little bit higher. I didn't think they'd be game breaking or like core characters on teams, but some of them just are downright just kind of like whatever, like kind of basic. There's a lot of like copy paste with effects between the characters, and also just like not really doing anything. So it's gonna be fun to use them, but that's all it is. It's just for the fun factor, right? So anyways, thank you all for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed, I'll see all of you in the next video.